Subscribing is like offering your soul to the God Emperor, except this time you'll get new videos instead of eternal servitude. Hit that button unless you're a heretic. Are the Iron Hands. Hailing from the harsh world of Medusa, these space marines have embraced an ethos of cold logic and mechanical augmentation that sets them apart even among their transhuman brethren. The Iron Hands' obsession with the fusion of flesh and machine stems from the teachings of their fallen primarch, Horus Manus. This fixation, while granting them incredible strength and resilience, has exacted a terrible price on their humanity. The chapter's pursuit of perfection through cybernetic enhancement has led them down a path that blurs the line between man and machine, raising questions about the very nature of their existence. At the core of the Iron Hands philosophy lies the belief that flesh is weak and must be replaced with the unyielding strength of metal and circuitry. This dogma, born from the trauma of their primarch's death during the Horus Heresy, has shaped every aspect of their culture and combat doctrine. Iron Hands Astartes willingly submit to extensive augmentation, replacing limbs, organs, and even portions of their brains with bionics in a never-ending quest for power and purity. The price of this obsession is steep and multifaceted. Physically, the Iron Hands subject themselves to painful and dangerous procedures, risking their lives in pursuit of mechanical perfection. Mentally, they struggle with the loss of emotion and empathy, their humanity slowly eroding with each augmentation. Spiritually, they grapple with questions of identity and purpose, as the line between warrior and war machine becomes increasingly blurred. This transformation has not gone unnoticed by their allies and enemies alike. Other Space Marine chapters view the Iron Hands with a mixture of respect for their martial prowess and unease at their inhuman demeanor. The Adeptus Mechanicus, while appreciating the Iron Hands' reverence for technology, remains wary of their independence and unorthodox practices. Enemies of the Imperium, particularly Chaos forces, see the Iron Hands as a potential weak point, susceptible to corruption through their reliance on technology. The Iron Hands' obsession has also affected their tactical approach to warfare. Their preference for mechanized combat and heavy firepower has made them a formidable force on the battlefield, but it has also led to a certain inflexibility in their strategies. The chapter's disdain for weakness often translates into a lack of mercy, both for their enemies and for civilians caught in the crossfire of their campaigns. Despite the costs, the Iron Hands remain steadfast in their convictions. They view their sacrifices as necessary for the survival of humanity in a hostile universe. The strength they gain through their augmentations allows them to stand against the myriad threats facing the Imperium, from Xenos invasions to Chaos incursions. As the Iron Hands continue on their path of mechanical augmentation, questions linger about their future. Will they find a balance between their humanity and their machine nature? Or will they ultimately transform into something no longer recognizably human? The answer to this question may determine not only the fate of the chapter, but also shed light on the future of humanity in an age where the lines between organic and artificial life are increasingly blurred. The story of the Iron Hands serves as a stark reminder of the lengths to which humanity might go to survive in a hostile universe and the prices it might pay in the process. Their tale is one of strength and sacrifice, of power and loss, a microcosm of the larger struggle facing the Imperium of Man in the dark future of Warhammer 40,000. The Iron Hands' origins trace back to the Emperor's Great Crusade, when the Primarch Horus Manus was discovered on the harsh world of Medusa. This planet's unforgiving landscape and deadly creatures shaped Horus into a being of incredible strength and willpower. His hands, encased in living metal after an encounter with a necrodermis entity, became a symbol of his philosophy, the fusion of flesh and machine to achieve perfection. Upon reuniting with the Emperor, Horus took command of the X-Legion, instilling in them his beliefs and combat doctrines. The Iron Hands quickly gained renown for their strategic brilliance and technological aptitude, often working alongside the Mechanicum in joint operations. The defining moment in Iron Hand's history came during the tragic events of the Istvan Fee drop site massacre. Ferrus Manus, enraged by Fulgrim's betrayal, led his legion in a furious assault against the traitor forces. In the ensuing battle, Ferrus met his end at the hands of his once closest brother, decapitated by the demon-possessed Fulgrim. This catastrophic loss shattered the Iron Hands. The survivors, led by Cardin Stronos, retreated from Istvan Foif, their spirits broken but their resolve hardened. In the aftermath, the Iron Hands underwent a radical transformation, both physically and ideologically. Interpreting their Primarch's death as a result of emotional weakness, the Iron Hands embraced logic and cold rationality with fervor. They saw their flesh as a liability, a reminder of Ferrus's failure, and began replacing it with cybernetics at an unprecedented rate. During the Horus Heresy, the Iron Hands fought tirelessly against the traitor forces, their anger at their Primarch's death fueling their relentless campaigns. They participated in numerous crucial battles, including the defense of Terra, though their numbers were severely depleted. In the post-Heresy era, the Iron Hands withdrew to Medusa to rebuild. They established the clan companies, each led by an Iron Father, to maintain their strength and continue their Primarch's work. The chapter's obsession with technological enhancement intensified, leading to increasingly extreme augmentations. The Iron Council, formed to govern the chapter in the absence of a single chapter master, implemented strict protocols to purge emotional responses and promote logical thinking. This led to the development of the Blessing of Iron, a series of neural implants designed to suppress emotions and enhance cognitive functions. Over the millennia, the Iron Hands have faced numerous challenges that have tested their philosophy. The Gaudinian Heresy saw a portion of the chapter fall to chaos, their reliance on technology exploited by the ruinous powers. This event only strengthened the Iron Hands' conviction that emotion and flesh were weaknesses to be overcome. The chapter's history is marked by periods of isolation and reintegration with the broader Imperium. Their expertise in technology and heavy warfare has made them valuable allies in many campaigns, but their cold demeanor and ruthless tactics have often put them at odds with other Imperial forces. Notable conflicts include the Purging of Contqual, where the Iron Hands' brutal efficiency in suppressing a chaos uprising shocked even hardened Imperial commanders. The Scarvus ambush demonstrated their tactical prowess, using their superior technology to overcome a numerically superior Orc force. The Beast Arises campaign saw the Iron Hands play a crucial role in defending the Imperium against a massive Orc invasion. Their strategies and firepower proved instrumental in several key battles, though their methods often clashed with those of other chapters. In recent times, the Iron Hands have faced new challenges. The emergence of Primaris Space Marines has forced them to reconsider their augmentation practices, as these new warriors possess enhanced abilities without extensive bionics. This has led to internal debates about the future direction of the chapter. The catastrophic events of the Cicatrix Maledictum's formation and the subsequent Indomitus Crusade have thrust the Iron Hands into a new era of warfare. Their technological expertise and combat doctrines have proven invaluable in battles against chaos forces spilling from the Great Rift. Throughout their history, the Iron Hands have remained true to their core beliefs, continually striving to embody their Primarch's vision of perfection through the merger of flesh and machine. This unwavering dedication has come at a great cost, shaping them into one of the most unique and controversial chapters in the Adeptus Astartes. The Iron Hands stand apart from other Space Marine chapters due to their unique blend of transhuman physiology and extensive cybernetic augmentation. Their pursuit of mechanical perfection manifests in several distinctive traits that define their chapter culture and combat doctrine. Foremost among these is their extensive use of bionics. Iron Hands. Astartes routinely replace healthy limbs and organs with cybernetic equivalents, viewing this as a path to strength and a means of purging weakness. This practice extends beyond mere functionality. Many Battle Brothers sport intricate augmetics adorned with chapter iconography, turning their bodies into living shrines to their beliefs. The chapter's reverence for technology borders on the religious. Iron Hands maintain a close relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus, often exchanging knowledge and resources. This alliance grants them access to advanced weaponry and equipment, further enhancing their combat effectiveness. Their tactical doctrine heavily emphasizes mechanized warfare. Iron Hands favor the deployment of armored vehicles and dreadnoughts, viewing these as the pinnacle of martial strength. This preference extends to their infantry tactics, with Battle Brothers often equipped with heavy weapons and additional armor plating. The Iron Council, the chapter's ruling body, exemplifies their commitment to logic over emotion. This council, comprising the most senior and augmented members of the chapter, makes decisions based on cold calculus rather than sentiment or tradition. This approach ensures tactical efficiency, but often leads to strategies that other Imperial forces find disconcertingly ruthless. The Blessing of Iron, a series of neural implants, represents another key feature of the Iron Hands. These devices suppress emotional responses and enhance logical processing, pushing the Marines further from their humanity. While this grants them unparalleled focus in battle, it also contributes to their reputation for callousness and lack of empathy. Iron Hands' disdain for weakness extends to their own ranks. Injured Battle Brothers are quickly fitted with bionics, with little regard for recovery time. Those who cannot be augmented swiftly enough may find themselves relegated to secondary roles or even mind-wiped and transformed into servitors. The chapter's organization into clan companies reflects their homeworld's culture and provides a unique command structure. Each company operates with significant autonomy, led by an Iron Father who serves as both spiritual leader and master technician. This decentralized structure allows for flexible responses to threats, but can lead to discord when clan interests conflict. Their homeworld, Medusa, plays a crucial role in shaping the Iron Hand's psyche. The planet's harsh environment and deadly fauna reinforce the chapter's belief in the superiority of machine over flesh. The nomadic clans of Medusa serve as a recruitment pool, providing aspirants already hardened by their world's unforgiving nature. The Iron Hands combat doctrine emphasizes overwhelming firepower and calculated aggression. They excel in siege warfare and protracted campaigns, their resilience and logistical efficiency allowing them to outlast many foes. However, this approach can lead to inflexibility, with the chapter sometimes struggling to adapt to rapidly changing battlefield conditions. Their expertise in technology extends beyond combat applications. Iron Hands are skilled artisans, creating intricate bionics and maintaining ancient war machines with reverence. This technical aptitude makes them valuable allies in campaigns involving archaeotech recovery or defense of crucial manufacturing worlds. The chapter's flight corps, known as the Seeker Squads, showcases their melding of transhuman skill and machine precision. These units, often equipped with jump packs or piloting specialized aircraft, serve as rapid response forces and surgical strike teams. Iron Hands' mental conditioning and augmentation grant them exceptional resistance to psychological warfare and corruption. However, this same trait can make them vulnerable to tech-based forms of subversion, a weakness that enemies like the Dark Mechanicum have exploited. Their chapter cult, centered around the apotheosis of Ferus Manus, influences every aspect of an Iron Hand's life. They view their Primarch not just as a legendary figure, but as the embodiment of their ideals, striving to emulate his perceived perfection through continuous self-improvement and augmentation. The Iron Hand's interpretation of the Codex Astartes is unique, adhering to its tactical wisdom while diverging significantly in matters of chapter organization and philosophy. This selective approach to Imperial doctrine sometimes puts them at odds with more orthodox chapters and inquisitorial forces. Their recruiting practices focus on selecting aspirants who display not just physical potential, but also technological aptitude and emotional detachment. Neophytes undergo extensive indoctrination, their natural human responses systematically replaced with the cold logic of the machine. The chapter's specialists, particularly tech marines and apothecaries, hold exalted positions. These individuals, with their deep understanding of both flesh and machine, are seen as the epitome of the Iron Hands philosophy. They play crucial roles in maintaining the chapter's bionic enhancements and war machines. In recent years, the introduction of Primaris Marines has presented a unique challenge to the Iron Hands ethos. These new warriors, with their enhanced abilities and reduced need for augmentation, have forced the chapter to re-evaluate some of its long-held beliefs about the relationship between flesh and machine. Within the Adeptus Astartes, the Iron Hands are renowned for their martial prowess and technological expertise. Their mastery of siege warfare and mechanized combat makes them invaluable assets in protracted campaigns against heavily fortified positions. Imperial commanders often request their presence when facing technologically advanced foes or when dealing with complex archaeotech. The chapter's relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus is particularly noteworthy. While most Space Marine chapters maintain cordial ties with the Mechanicus, the Iron Hands share a deep ideological kinship with the Tech Priests of Mars. This alliance grants them access to rare technologies and resources, enhancing their combat effectiveness and technological base. In return, the Iron Hands often support Mechanicus expeditions and defend key Forge worlds. However, this close association also raises eyebrows among more conservative elements of the Imperium. Inquisitors of the Ordo Hereticus occasionally scrutinize the Iron Hands, wary of their extreme augmentation practices and seemingly machine-like mentality. The chapter's tendency to prioritize logic over human concerns has led to conflicts with other Imperial organizations, particularly when civilian casualties are deemed acceptable collateral damage in pursuit of strategic objectives. In the broader context of Imperial defense, the Iron Hands serve as a bulwark against threats that leverage advanced technology. Their expertise is particularly valued in combating Necron incursions, Dark Mechanicum heresies, and Tau expansions. The chapter's ability to reverse engineer and counter enemy tech provides a crucial edge in these engagements. The Iron Hands' homeworld of Medusa, while technically under their protection, maintains an unusual degree of autonomy. The nomadic clans of Medusa continue their harsh existence, serving as both a recruitment pool for the chapter and a living reminder of the Iron Hands' origins. This arrangement preserves the chapter's connection to its roots, while allowing it to focus on broader Imperial concerns. Within the political landscape of the Imperium, the Iron Hands maintain a relatively isolated stance. They rarely involve themselves in the intrigues of the High Lords of Terra or the power struggles between different Imperial factions. Instead, they focus on their perceived duty, the defense of humanity through strength and technological superiority. The chapter's influence extends to Imperial military doctrine, particularly in areas of mechanized warfare and cybernetic enhancement. Many Guard regiments and even other Space Marine chapters have adopted tactics and technologies pioneered by the Iron Hands. Their treatises on the integration of man and machine are studied in war colleges across the Imperium. In the wake of the Great Rift's formation, the Iron Hands have found themselves thrust into an even more prominent role. Their ability to operate effectively in low-resource environments and their resistance to chaos corruption make them ideal for missions into the Dark Imperium. They've been instrumental in re-establishing contact with isolated Imperial worlds and in countering chaos incursions. The introduction of Primaris Marines has forced the Iron Hands to reassess their place in the Imperium's defense. While initially skeptical of these new warriors, the chapter has come to appreciate their enhanced capabilities. The integration of Primaris technology has led to new avenues of research and development within the chapter, potentially heralding a new era of transhuman evolution. Despite their often aloof demeanor, the Iron Hands maintain alliances with several other Space Marine chapters, particularly those with a similar affinity for technology or logic-driven tactics. They frequently collaborate with the Raven Guard and Salamanders, their fellow Shattered Legions, in honor of their shared history and sacrifices during the Horus Heresy. The chapter's role in safeguarding Imperial technology sometimes puts them at odds with the Inquisition's Ordo Xenos. While both organizations seek to protect humanity from alien threats, the Iron Hands' willingness to study and adapt Xenos technology for Imperial use has led to occasional conflicts. In the grand narrative of the Warhammer 40,000 universe, the Iron Hands represent a possible future for humanity, one where the lines between man and machine blur in the name of survival. Their struggles with identity and humanity serve as a microcosm for the broader themes of sacrifice and adaptation in the face of overwhelming odds. The Iron Hands' obsession with strength and perfection also serves as a counterpoint to the corruption and decay prevalent in the Imperium. Their ceaseless drive for self-improvement, while often taking extreme forms, embodies the human will to overcome adversity and evolve beyond current limitations. As guardians of ancient technology and proponents of technological advancement, the Iron Hands play a crucial role in preserving humanity's scientific legacy. Their forged temples house millennia-old knowledge, safeguarding it from both external threats and internal decay. This repository of technical lore makes them key players in any Imperial endeavor involving lost technology or scientific mysteries. The chapter's stance on abhumans and mutants reflects their broader philosophy. While they view genetic deviation as a weakness, their logical approach often leads them to utilize abhuman auxiliaries when tactically advantageous, setting them apart from more dogmatic Imperial forces. The Iron Hands' relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus goes beyond mere alliance, bordering on symbiosis. Both factions share a reverence for technology and a belief in the superiority of machine over flesh. This kinship allows for frequent exchange of knowledge and resources. Iron Hands often receive prototype weapons and rare archaeotech in return for safeguarding Mechanicus interests. However, this close tie occasionally raises suspicions among other Imperial factions, wary of the Mechanicus' increasing influence over a first founding chapter. Their interactions with other Space Marine chapters are complex and varied. The Raven Guard and Salamanders, fellow survivors of the Istvan V massacre, share a bond of brotherhood forged in tragedy. Joint operations between these chapters are not uncommon, especially when facing threats that echo their shared history. Conversely, chapters like the Space Wolves view the Iron Hands' excessive augmentation with distrust, leading to tense encounters and reluctant cooperation. The chapter's relationship with the Inquisition is marked by a mix of respect and wariness. Inquisitors value the Iron Hands' incorruptibility and technological expertise, often requesting their aid in investigating tech heresy or combating advanced Xenos threats. However, the Ordo Hereticus keeps a close watch on the chapter, concerned about the potential dangers of their extreme cybernetic practices. In dealings with the Imperial Guard, the Iron Hands often assume a role of aloof superiority. They view unaugmented humans as inherently weak, though they recognize the strategic value of guard numbers. Iron Hands commanders frequently take charge of joint operations, implementing strategies that maximize the efficiency of guard units while minimizing casualties among their own forces. The chapter's interaction with Imperial civilians is notably detached. Iron Hands rarely engage in the protection of civilian populations unless it serves a greater strategic purpose. This coldly logical approach has earned them a fearsome reputation among Imperial worlds, respected for their effectiveness but rarely welcomed with open arms. Encounters with the ecclesiarchy highlight the philosophical differences within the Imperium. The Iron Hands' tech-centric beliefs often clash with the ecclesiarchy's spiritual doctrines. While both revere the Emperor, their interpretations of his will diverge significantly, leading to ideological conflicts that sometimes hinder cooperation in the field. The Iron Hands' relationship with Xenos races is uniformly hostile, but their approach varies. Against orcs, they employ overwhelming firepower and tactical precision to counter the greenskins' numerical advantage. Eldar encounters are treated with caution, the Iron Hands wary of the Xenos' advanced technology and prophetic abilities. Necron invasions are met with particular zeal, as the Iron Hands see these engagements as opportunities to study and possibly reverse engineer necrodermis and other Necron technologies. Their battles against Chaos forces are infused with a vengeful fervor stemming from the betrayal at Istvan V. The Iron Hands are especially ruthless against Chaos Space Marines, viewing them as the embodiment of flesh's weakness. However, this hatred makes them vulnerable to Chaos tactics that exploit emotion, a fact that demon engines and dark mechanicum forces often attempt to leverage. Interactions with the Tau Empire are marked by a grudging respect for the Xenos' technological prowess. While the Iron Hands reject the greater good as naive idealism, they study Tau weapons and battlesuits with keen interest. Engagements between these factions often evolve into contests of technological one-upmanship. The chapter's dealings with rogue traders are pragmatic and mutually beneficial. Iron Hands value the intelligence and rare artifacts these independent operators can provide, while rogue traders appreciate the chapter's protection and technical expertise. These relationships often lead to the discovery of lost human colonies or forgotten caches of archaeotech. In the political arena of Terra, the Iron Hands maintain a minimal presence. They view the bureaucratic machinations of the High Lords as inefficient and avoid entanglement in these affairs. However, their voice carries weight in matters of Imperial defense and technological advancement, areas where their expertise is unquestioned. The Iron Hands' interaction with the Officio Assassinorum is infrequent but significant. The chapter's logical approach to warfare aligns well with the clinical efficiency of Imperial assassins. Occasionally, Iron Hands provide technological support to Assassinorum operations, enhancing their already formidable agents with bespoke augmetics. Their relationship with the Adeptus Arbites is one of professional respect. Both organizations value order and the swift execution of justice. In cases where widespread rebellion threatens Imperial worlds, Iron Hands may deploy alongside Arbites forces, providing heavy support to pacification efforts. The chapter's interactions with Adeptus Titanicus legions are characterized by mutual admiration. Iron Hands revere the mighty god machines as the pinnacle of human engineering, while Titan crews respect the chapter's technological acumen. This relationship often manifests in joint operations, where Iron Hands provide close support to Titan maneuvers. In dealing with planetary governors and local authorities, Iron Hands display little patience for political niceties. They demand compliance and efficiency, often bypassing established chains of command to achieve their objectives. This direct approach can lead to friction with local power structures, but generally results in rapid resolution of crises. The Iron Hands' obsession with technology occasionally brings them into conflict with the Adeptus Custodes, guardians of the Emperor's secrets. While both groups are unwaveringly loyal to the Emperor, their methods and philosophies diverge, particularly regarding the use of certain arcane technologies. At the apex of the Iron Hands hierarchy stands the Iron Council, a governing body that replaces the traditional role of Chapter Master. This council, composed of the most senior and augmented members of the chapter, makes decisions based on cold logic and calculated efficiency. The Iron Council structure mimics that of a cogitator, with each member representing a vital component in the chapter's decision-making process. Beneath the Iron Council are the clan companies, each led by an Iron Father. These Iron Fathers serve dual roles as spiritual leaders and master technicians, embodying the chapter's fusion of faith and technology. Each clan company operates with a degree of autonomy, allowing for flexible responses to threats across the galaxy while maintaining the overall strategic direction set by the Iron Council. The position of Iron Father is highly revered within the chapter. These individuals undergo extensive augmentation and training, often spending decades honing their skills in both combat and technology. Iron Fathers are responsible for maintaining the chapter's vast array of war machines, performing augmentation rituals, and preserving the chapter's ancient technological lore. Within each clan company, the rank structure loosely follows the Codex Astartes, with captains, lieutenants, and sergeants leading smaller units. However, the Iron Hands place greater emphasis on technical expertise and the degree of augmentation when considering promotions. A battle brother with extensive bionics and technical knowledge may find themselves elevated above a more experienced but less augmented warrior. The chapter's tech marines hold a position of particular esteem. Unlike in other chapters where tech marines are specialists, in the Iron Hands, they form the core of the chapter's identity. Many aspire to this role, seeing it as the pinnacle of the Iron Hands philosophy. Tech Marines not only maintain and repair equipment, but also lead research into new augmentations and weapons technologies. Apothecaries in the Iron Hands chapter have a unique role that blends traditional medical knowledge with cybernetic expertise. They are responsible for both healing injured battle brothers and overseeing the implementation of new augmetics. This dual focus makes them key figures in the chapter's continuous drive for self-improvement through technology. The Librarius of the Iron Hands is a curious amalgamation of psychic power and technology. Iron Hands librarians often undergo extensive augmentation to enhance their psychic abilities, blurring the line between warp-based powers and technological enhancements. They serve not only as psychers in battle, but also as guardians of the chapter's extensive data vaults. At the lower ranks, the chapter is divided into tactical, assault, and devastator squads, much like other Codex-compliant chapters. However, the Iron Hands place a greater emphasis on devastator and armored support roles, reflecting their preference for overwhelming firepower and mechanized warfare. The chapter's recruitment and training process is brutally efficient. Aspirants from Medusa's nomadic clans undergo rigorous testing, with a focus not just on physical prowess, but also on technological aptitude and emotional detachment. Those who succeed face years of indoctrination and augmentation, slowly replacing their human weaknesses with mechanical strength. Veteran status in the Iron Hands is marked not just by experience, but by the extent of a warrior's augmentation. The most respected veterans are those who have replaced the majority of their organic bodies with bionics, seen as having transcended the weaknesses of flesh. The chapter maintains a cadre of dreadnoughts, known as the Venerable Ones, who are revered as the embodiment of the Iron Hands ideals. These ancient warriors, their organic components all but gone, serve as both powerful combatants and repositories of the chapter's history and tactical knowledge. Intercessors and other primaries units have been integrated into the chapter's structure, though not without some initial resistance. The Iron Council saw the potential in these enhanced warriors and has worked to incorporate them into existing clan companies, often subjecting them to additional augmentation to bring them in line with chapter traditions. The Iron Hands maintain extensive forge temples, both on Medusa and their primary ships. These facilities, staffed by the chapter's most skilled tech marines and Iron Fathers, serve as centers of research, augmentation, and production. It's here that the chapter's most closely guarded technological secrets are developed and implemented. A unique feature of the Iron Hands structure is the integration protocol. This system allows for seamless coordination between organic members and the chapter's vast array of war machines. Through neural links and advanced interfaces, Iron Hands battle brothers can operate vehicles and static defenses with unprecedented efficiency, blurring the line between man and machine. The chapter's fleet, while formidable, is viewed as an extension of their ground forces rather than a separate entity. Ships are heavily augmented with additional weapon systems and defensive technologies, often serving as mobile forge temples in addition to their combat roles. At the fringes of the chapter's hierarchy are the Skitarii-like servitor units. These fully mechanized troops, often created from failed aspirants or grievously wounded battle brothers, form a silent and utterly loyal workforce and auxiliary combat force. The cornerstone of Iron Hand's technology is their mastery of bionics. Their augmentations go far beyond simple prosthetics, incorporating advanced neural interfaces that blur the line between organic thought and machine processing. These enhancements amplify strength, speed, and cognitive abilities while providing direct neural links to weapons and vehicles. Iron Hand's power armor is a marvel of engineering, often heavily modified from standard patterns. Integrated life support systems and auto repair modules allow for extended operations in hostile environments. Many suits incorporate additional layers of ceramite and reactive plating, sacrificing some mobility for increased durability. The chapter's weapon systems are equally impressive. They favor plasma technology, having developed proprietary cooling systems that mitigate the risks associated with these volatile weapons. Their bolters often feature custom ammunition, including specialized rounds designed to penetrate heavily armored targets or disrupt energy fields. Vehicle technology is a point of pride for the Iron Hands. Their tanks and transports are not merely machines, but extensions of the crew's will. Neural interface systems allow for unprecedented levels of control and coordination. Many vehicles are equipped with self-repair protocols and redundant systems, ensuring continued operation even under severe damage. The Iron Hands' expertise in siege warfare is reflected in their arsenal of heavy weapons. They have perfected mobile artillery platforms capable of delivering devastating firepower with pinpoint accuracy. These weapons often incorporate predictive targeting algorithms, allowing them to track and engage fast-moving targets with ease. In the realm of cybernetics, the Iron Hands push the boundaries of what's possible. Their most advanced augmentations include cognitive enhancers that boost tactical analysis and decision-making speed. Some veterans have replaced entire sections of their brains with augmetic equivalents, achieving a level of machine-like efficiency in combat. The chapter's mastery of technology extends to the field of robotics. They employ squadrons of combat drones and servitors, controlled via encrypted neural networks. These units serve as expendable shock troops and reconnaissance assets, allowing the Iron Hands to minimize risks to their organic members. Iron Hands ships are technological marvels in their own right. Their fleet incorporates advanced void shields, automated repair systems, and enhanced propulsion technology. Many of their vessels serve dual roles as mobile forges, capable of producing and repairing equipment mid-campaign. The chapter's research into energy weapons has yielded impressive results. They've developed plasma cannons with unprecedented stability and volkite weapons that surpass even those used during the Great Crusade. These advancements have made the Iron Hands a formidable force against heavily armored opponents. In the realm of defensive technology, the Iron Hands excel. Their personal force fields and energy barriers are among the most sophisticated in the Imperium. They've also pioneered new forms of reactive armor that can adapt to different types of incoming fire, providing superior protection against a wide range of threats. The Iron Hands' approach to medical technology is uniquely aggressive. Their apothecaries employ advanced nanites and synthetic organ replacements to rapidly heal injuries. For more severe cases, they've developed stasis technologies that can preserve a battle brother's cognitive functions while their body undergoes extensive reconstruction. Their expertise in machine spirits is unparalleled. Iron Hands Tech Marines have developed rituals and interface protocols that allow for deeper communion with the spirits of their war machines. This results in vehicles and weapons that operate with an almost sentient level of responsiveness and efficiency. The chapter's research into anti-warp technology has produced several breakthroughs. They've developed specialized field generators that can dampen psychic energies, providing a tactical advantage against warp-based enemies. Some of their most advanced bionics incorporate materials resistant to demonic possession. Iron Hand's skill in data management and analysis is a key technological asset. Their battle brothers often carry sophisticated auspex arrays and cogitator units, allowing for real-time tactical analysis and threat assessment. This technology integrates seamlessly with their neural augmentations, providing a constant stream of battlefield data. The chapter's forge temples house some of their most closely guarded technological secrets. Here, they experiment with xenotech, pushing the boundaries of the Imperium's tech doctrine. While careful to avoid outright tech heresy, the Iron Hands are not afraid to incorporate alien principles into their designs when it serves their purposes. In terms of stealth technology, the Iron Hands have made significant advancements. Despite their preference for direct confrontation, they recognize the value of covert operations. Their cloaking devices and signal jammers are highly sophisticated, allowing even their heavily augmented warriors to move undetected when necessary. The Iron Hands' reliance on technology does have its vulnerabilities. They are particularly susceptible to electromagnetic pulse weapons and advanced hacking attempts. To counter this, they've developed multiple redundant systems and hardened circuitry, ensuring that no single point of failure can completely disable a battle brother. At the core of Iron Hands' culture lies the belief in the superiority of machine over flesh. This stems from their interpretation of their Primarch's teachings and the trauma of his loss. They view organic bodies as inherently weak and fallible, prone to corruption and decay. Augmentation is seen not just as enhancement, but as a path to purification and transcendence. The chapter's obsession with strength manifests in their relentless pursuit of self-improvement. Weakness, be it physical or mental, is ruthlessly excised. This ethos extends to their dealings with others, often leading to a lack of empathy for those they deem inferior or inefficient. Iron Hands rarely form close bonds, viewing emotional attachments as potential vulnerabilities. Their interpretation of the Emperor's vision is unique among Space Marines. While they revere him as the pinnacle of human achievement, they see his physical form as a limitation to be overcome. Some within the chapter believe that the Emperor's internment in the Golden Throne is a form of ascension, a melding of man and machine that they should aspire to emulate. A ritual plays a significant role in Iron Hands' culture, though it differs markedly from the mysticism found in other chapters. Their ceremonies are precise, calculated affairs, often involving the blessing and activation of new augmetics or war machines. These rituals serve a dual purpose, honoring their traditions and ensuring peak operational efficiency of their technology. The concept of the blessing of iron is central to their ideology. This refers not just to physical augmentation, but to the mental conditioning that accompanies it. Iron Hands undergo extensive psychological reprogramming, learning to suppress emotions and embrace cold logic. This process is seen as essential for achieving true strength and resilience. Leadership within the chapter is based on a meritocracy of augmentation and tactical acumen. Those who demonstrate superior strategic thinking and embrace the chapter's ideals most fully rise to positions of authority. Personal ambition is discouraged. Instead, Iron Hands are expected to strive for the betterment of the chapter as a whole. Their homeworld, Medusa, plays a crucial role in shaping Iron Hands' culture. The harsh, unforgiving environment reinforces their belief in the need for constant adaptation and improvement. The nomadic clans of Medusa serve as both a recruitment pool and a reminder of the weakness they've transcended. Art and aesthetics in Iron Hands' culture are utilitarian and function-oriented. Beauty is found in the elegant efficiency of a well-designed machine or the perfect execution of a battle plan. Their fortresses and ships reflect this, favoring stark, brutalist designs that prioritize function over form. The chapter's approach to warfare is clinical and methodical. They view battles as complex equations to be solved, with variables of force, timing, and resources to be balanced. This often leads to strategies that prioritize efficiency over heroics, sometimes at the cost of higher casualties among allied forces or civilians. Education and training within the chapter emphasize technical knowledge and tactical analysis. Young recruits spend as much time studying machine schematics and battlefield logistics as they do in combat drills. This comprehensive approach produces warriors who are as much engineers and tacticians as they are fighters. The Iron Hands maintain a complex relationship with pain. While they seek to eliminate physical discomfort through augmentation, they also view pain as a tool for growth. The process of receiving new augmetics is often deliberately painful, seen as a test of will and a rite of passage. Their view on death is equally nuanced. While they strive to preserve their warriors through technology, they also accept casualties as a logical outcome of warfare. Fallen battle brothers are honored not through elaborate funerals, but by salvaging and repurposing their augmetics, ensuring their strength continues to serve the chapter. Humor and leisure, concepts important in many cultures, are largely absent in Iron Hand society. Recreation is viewed as inefficient, and any time not spent in battle or self-improvement is dedicated to maintenance of their physical and mechanical components. The chapter's relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus influences their culture significantly. While they share a reverence for technology, the Iron Hands maintain a fierce independence, viewing the Mechanicus' rituals as unnecessarily superstitious. This tension creates a unique dynamic where cooperation and competition coexist. Iron Hands view the human societies they protect with a mixture of disdain and duty. They see unaugmented humans as frail and limited, yet acknowledge their role in safeguarding humanity's future. This paradox often results in a detached, almost alien approach to their interactions with Imperial citizens. The concept of humanity itself is constantly questioned and redefined within Iron Hand's philosophy. As they push the boundaries of augmentation, debates arise about the point at which one ceases to be human and becomes something more. This philosophical quandary underlies much of their cultural discourse. The primary internal conflict facing the Iron Hands is the constant struggle between their humanity and their machine nature. As they push the boundaries of augmentation, questions arise about the point at which they cease to be human. This philosophical dilemma creates tension within the chapter, with some members advocating for even more extreme cybernetic enhancement, while others caution against losing touch with their human origins entirely. Externally, the Iron Hands face challenges in their relationships with other Imperial factions. Their cold, logical approach often clashes with the more humanitarian methods of other Space Marine chapters. This can lead to difficulties in joint operations where their prioritization of efficiency over minimizing casualties creates friction with allies. The chapter's heavy reliance on technology presents a unique vulnerability. Advanced enemies, particularly those versed in electronic warfare, can exploit this dependence. Battles against the Dark Mechanicum or tech-savvy Necron forces often push the Iron Hands to their limits, forcing them to confront the potential weaknesses in their augmented forms. Recruitment poses another significant challenge. The harsh conditions of Medusa provide a limited pool of potential aspirants, and the chapter's stringent requirements further narrow the field. Additionally, the extreme augmentation process has a high failure rate, with many initiates unable to withstand the physical and psychological strain of becoming an Iron Hand. The Iron Hand's relationship with the Adeptus Mechanicus is a double-edged sword. While their close ties grant access to advanced technology, it also places them under scrutiny from both the Inquisition and more conservative elements within the Imperium. Balancing their tech-centric ideology with Imperial doctrine requires constant vigilance and diplomacy. Psychologically, the suppression of emotions, while viewed as a strength by the chapter, can lead to unforeseen complications. The lack of empathy makes it difficult for Iron Hands to relate to the very humans they're sworn to protect, sometimes resulting in strategic miscalculations when civilian factors are involved in their operations. The integration of Primaris Marines presents a unique challenge to the Iron Hands culture. These new warriors, with their enhanced abilities and reduced need for augmentation, force the chapter to reconsider some of its foundational beliefs about the necessity of extensive bionics. Combat against Chaos forces, particularly those aligned with the ruinous powers that exploit emotion, can be particularly challenging for the Iron Hands. Their suppressed emotions can make them vulnerable to certain types of psychic attacks, requiring constant vigilance and adaptation of their mental defenses. The chapter's obsession with strength and perfection sometimes leads to a form of stagnation. In their pursuit of the optimal, they may overlook unconventional solutions or innovative tactics that don't align with their established doctrines. This rigidity can be exploited by adaptable enemies. Maintaining their vast array of advanced technology is a constant challenge. The resources required for upkeep and advancement of their augmetics and war machines strain even the considerable logistical capabilities of the chapter. This can lead to difficult decisions about resource allocation, especially during prolonged campaigns. The Iron Hand's interpretation of their Primarch's legacy is a source of ongoing internal debate. Some within the chapter argue for a more literal adherence to Ferrus Manus's teachings, while others advocate for evolution beyond his original vision. This ideological split can cause tension, particularly when making decisions about the chapter's future direction. Their homeworld, Medusa, presents its own set of challenges. The planet's harsh environment and limited resources require constant management. Balancing the needs of the nomadic clans with the chapter's recruitment and resource requirements is an ongoing logistical and diplomatic challenge. The Iron Hand's reputation for coldness and lack of empathy can make it difficult for them to secure cooperation from other Imperial forces. This is particularly problematic in scenarios that require coordinated efforts across multiple factions. Overcoming this perception without compromising their principles is an ongoing challenge for the chapter's leadership. Technological advancement, while a strength, also presents ethical dilemmas. The Iron Hands often find themselves pushing the boundaries of what's considered acceptable within Imperial doctrine. Navigating these gray areas without falling into tech heresy requires careful consideration and sometimes fierce debate within the chapter. The psychological impact of extensive augmentation on individual battle brothers is an ongoing concern. While the Iron Hands view the replacement of flesh with machine as a path to strength, the process can lead to identity crises and psychological instability in some individuals. Managing these cases without compromising the chapter's ideals is a delicate balance. Long-term strategic planning presents unique challenges for the Iron Hands. Their focus on logic and efficiency sometimes leads to a neglect of less tangible factors such as morale, political ramifications, and long-term consequences of their actions. Developing a more holistic approach to strategy without abandoning their core principles is an ongoing process for the chapter's leadership. Cardan Stronos, acting chapter master, stands as a paragon of Iron Hand's ideology. His body, almost entirely bionic, is a testament to the chapter's belief in the superiority of machine over flesh. Stronos' tactical acumen and unwavering resolve have led the Iron Hands through countless battles. His ability to interface directly with the chapter's battle networks allows him to coordinate complex strategies with machine-like precision. Iron Father Christos epitomizes the chapter's drive for technological advancement. His contributions to the development of advanced bionics have pushed the boundaries of what's possible in human augmentation. Christos' experiments, while controversial even within the chapter, have resulted in breakthroughs that have significantly enhanced the Iron Hand's combat effectiveness. Tech Marine Bartolk is renowned for his mastery over machine spirits. His ability to commune with and repair even the most damaged war machines is legendary. In battle, Bartolk can often be found at the heart of the conflict, surrounded by a whirlwind of mechadendrites as he simultaneously fights and repairs critical equipment. Veteran Sergeant Casterman Orth is a living example of the Iron Hand's resilience. Having survived injuries that would have killed most Space Marines, Orth's body is a patchwork of bionics and original flesh. His experiences have made him a vocal advocate for even more extensive augmentation within the chapter. Librarian Athos represents the unique intersection of psychic power and technology within the Iron Hands. His augmented brain allows him to channel warp energies with unprecedented precision. Athos's research into the interaction between the warp and machine has led to advancements in the chapter's defenses against psychic attacks. Captain Pelez of the 5th Clan Company is known for his innovative tactical approaches. Despite the Iron Hand's reputation for rigidity, Pelez has demonstrated an ability to adapt to rapidly changing battlefield conditions. His integration of Primaris Marines into traditional Iron Hand strategies has been particularly noteworthy. Dreadnought Banis is one of the oldest serving members of the chapter. His ancient frame houses a wealth of tactical knowledge and historical insight. In battle, Banis serves as both a walking fortress and a strategic advisor, his millennia of experience proving invaluable in complex engagements. Apothecary Caduceus stands out for his advancements in biomechanical integration. His work has significantly reduced rejection rates for new augmetics and improved the overall success rate of the augmentation process. Caduceus's methods have been adopted by other chapters, albeit in less extreme forms. Scout Sergeant Macron exemplifies the Iron Hand's approach to training new recruits. Despite his relatively junior status, Macron's body is already heavily augmented. He instills in his charges not just combat skills, but the core philosophical tenets of the Iron Hands, shaping the future of the chapter. Iron Captain Cien leads the chapter's void operations. His augmentations allow him to interface directly with ship systems, essentially becoming one with his vessel during space battles. Cien's innovations in void warfare tactics have given the Iron Hands a significant edge in fleet engagements. Tech Marine Xyril gained fame for his work in reverse engineering Xenos technology. His ability to adapt alien tech for Imperial use while skirting the edge of Tech Heresy has provided the Iron Hands with several unique and powerful weapons. Xyril's methods are controversial but undeniably effective. Veteran Brother Chrysar is notable for achieving an almost perfect balance between his remaining organic components and his extensive bionics. His performance in battle is often used as a benchmark for aspiring Iron Hands, demonstrating the potential of true man-machine synthesis. Iron Father Fieros, a relatively new addition to the chapter's upper echelons, has gained prominence for his work in integrating Primaris technology with traditional Iron Hands augmetics. His innovations have helped bridge the gap between the chapter's established doctrine and the new possibilities presented by Primaris Marines. Epistolary Oros is known for his unique approach to combining psychic abilities with technology. His augmented cortex allows him to process and channel psychic energy in ways previously thought impossible. Oros's techniques have opened new avenues for the chapter's Librarius. Forge Master Delvris oversees the chapter's primary forge temple on Medusa. His expertise in archaeotech and his ability to recreate lost technologies have significantly expanded the Iron Hand's arsenal. Delvris's work ensures that the chapter remains at the cutting edge of technological warfare. Chapter Ancient Venerati bears the honor of carrying the chapter's most sacred banner. His body, almost entirely mechanical, is adorned with relics from the chapter's long history. In battle, Venerati serves as a living reminder of the Iron Hand's heritage and their unyielding resolve. In the grand narrative of Warhammer 40,000, the Iron Hands serve as a stark example of the lengths to which humanity might go to survive in a hostile universe. Their relentless pursuit of strength through technology raises questions about the nature of humanity and the cost of survival. This philosophical underpinning often drives storylines that explore the boundaries between man and machine. The chapter's conflicts with the Adeptus Mechanicus provide rich narrative opportunities. While both factions revere technology, their differing interpretations of its application create tension that can escalate into open conflict. These disagreements often center around the use of xenotech or the development of technologies that push the boundaries of Imperial doctrine. Iron Hand's interactions with other Space Marine chapters highlight the diversity within the Adeptus Astartes. Their cold, logical approach often clashes with the more honor-bound or emotional motivations of other chapters, leading to complex alliances and rivalries that play out across multiple campaigns. The chapter's expertise in technology makes them key players in storylines involving the discovery or recovery of archaeotech. Their ability to understand and repurpose ancient technologies often places them at the forefront of expeditions into long-lost human colonies or forgotten weapon vaults. In campaigns against the forces of chaos, the Iron Hand's resistance to corruption provides an interesting counterpoint to the temptations faced by other Imperial factions. However, their suppression of emotion can also make them vulnerable to certain chaos tactics, creating dramatic moments where their greatest strength becomes a potential weakness. The Iron Hand's homeworld of Medusa often features in narratives that explore the chapter's origins and ongoing challenges. The harsh environment and the relationship between the chapter and the planet's nomadic clans offer rich storytelling possibilities, from recruitment drives to defenses against invasion. In terms of gameplay, the Iron Hands offer a unique playstyle that emphasizes durability and firepower. Their units often have higher toughness values or special rules that represent their bionic enhancements, allowing them to withstand punishment that would cripple other forces. The chapter's affinity for technology translates into army lists with a heavy emphasis on vehicles and dreadnoughts. Players can field armies with a higher proportion of mechanized units, creating resilient, hard-hitting forces that excel in wars of attrition. Special rules often reflect the Iron Hand's ability to repair and maintain their equipment in the field. This can manifest as abilities that allow damaged vehicles to regain lost wounds or ignored penalties for damage, representing the chapter's expert tech priests and the self-repair capabilities of their advanced machines. The Iron Hand's suppression of pain and emotion is often represented by rules that allow them to ignore wounds or stay in the fight longer than other Space Marines. This resilience makes them formidable opponents in both casual and competitive play. Their mastery of technology also allows for unique war gear options. Players can equip their units with advanced bionics or experimental weapons, providing tactical flexibility and the ability to surprise opponents with unexpected capabilities. In narrative play, the Iron Hand's philosophical conflicts can be represented through special objectives or mission parameters. Players might be challenged to balance efficiency with other concerns, mirroring the chapter's ongoing struggle to maintain their humanity. The chapter's preference for logic and calculated risk can be reflected in stratagems that allow for precise application of firepower or tactical redeployment. These abilities reward players who can think several moves ahead and plan their actions carefully. Iron Hand's armies often excel in certain mission types, particularly those involving holding ground or attrition warfare. Their durability and firepower make them ideal for defensive operations or grinding advances against entrenched enemies. The visual aesthetic of an Iron Hand's army provides unique modeling and painting opportunities. The blend of flesh and machine allows for creative conversions and a distinctive look on the tabletop, appealing to hobbyists who enjoy creating unique and striking models. In video game adaptations, the Iron Hand's technological focus often translates into gameplay mechanics involving equipment upgrades or the ability to interface directly with vehicles and weapon systems. This can provide players with additional strategic layers as they manage both their troops and their advanced war gear. The integration of Primaris Marines presents a pivotal moment in Iron Hand's evolution. As these enhanced warriors become more prevalent, the chapter faces a crossroads. They must decide whether to fully embrace this new technology or find ways to augment Primaris Marines further to align with their traditional philosophies. This tension could lead to internal schisms or a revolutionary new approach to their augmentation practices. Advancements in neural interface technology may push the boundaries of what it means to be human. Iron Hands could pioneer innovations allowing for complete consciousness transfer into machine bodies, raising ethical questions and potentially attracting scrutiny from other Imperial factions. This development might spark conflicts with the Adeptus Mechanicus over the nature of the machine spirit and the sanctity of human consciousness. The chapter's expertise in technology could position them as key players in rediscovering and reactivating dormant STCs, standard template constructs. Such discoveries could dramatically shift the balance of power within the Imperium, potentially elevating the Iron Hand's status, but also making them targets for enemies seeking to exploit or destroy these technologies. As threats to the Imperium evolve, so too must the Iron Hand's combat doctrines. They may develop new tactics specifically designed to counter emerging Xenos threats or adapt to the changing nature of Chaos incursions. This could lead to specialized units or equipment tailored for specific enemy types, expanding their tactical flexibility on the tabletop. The ongoing exploration of the Imperium Nihilis might see Iron Hands taking a more active role in fleet-based operations. Their technological expertise could prove crucial in navigating the treacherous warp storms of the Dark Imperium, potentially leading to the establishment of new Iron Hand strongholds in these unstable regions. Philosophical shifts within the chapter could occur as they grapple with the long-term consequences of their augmentation practices. Some members might advocate for a return to a more balanced approach, seeking to retain more of their humanity. This internal debate could manifest in new character models or unit types representing different ideological factions within the chapter. Collaboration with other technologically inclined chapters, such as the Iron Warriors, if loyalist successors exist, or the Silver Skulls, could lead to the formation of a new coalition focused on technological advancement within the Imperium. This alliance could serve as a counterbalance to the Adeptus Mechanicus, offering alternative paths for Imperial technological development. The Iron Hands' relationship with their homeworld, Medusa, may evolve. They might undertake massive terraforming projects to make the planet more habitable, or delve deeper into its mysteries, uncovering ancient technologies or hidden threats that reshape their understanding of their origins. Advancements in bionic technology could allow for more seamless integration of organic and mechanical components. This could result in new model designs featuring Iron Hands Marines with more fluid, less obviously mechanical augmentations, blurring the line between human and machine aesthetics. The chapter's focus on logic and efficiency might lead them to develop new AI systems to enhance their combat effectiveness. However, this could bring them into conflict with Imperial prohibitions on artificial intelligence, potentially leading to secretive research projects and conflicts with other Imperial authorities. As the Imperium faces increasingly dire threats, the Iron Hands' willingness to make hard, logical choices might see them taking on more morally ambiguous roles. They could be tasked with implementing strategies that other chapters find unpalatable, further isolating them but also making them indispensable to Imperial survival. The discovery of new forms of energy or exotic matter could drive a new wave of technological innovation within the chapter. This might manifest in radical new weapons or defense systems, giving Iron Hands players access to unique war gear options that dramatically alter their playstyle. Interactions with newly discovered human civilizations in the far reaches of the galaxy could challenge the Iron Hands' established beliefs. Encountering human societies that have achieved harmony between organic life and technology might force the chapter to reevaluate its core philosophies. The Iron Hands' expertise in cybernetics could lead to breakthroughs in the field of combat stimulants and performance enhancers. This might introduce new rules for temporary stat boosts or special abilities, adding a layer of resource management to their gameplay. As the line between organic and artificial becomes increasingly blurred, the Iron Hands might face new forms of technological corruption. This could introduce storylines where the chapter battles against virulent machine plagues or rogue AI systems, testing the limits of their faith in technology. The chapter's focus on self-reliance and technological superiority could see them taking a more active role in void warfare. Development of advanced ship designs or novel approaches to space combat might expand their role in fleet-based campaigns and introduce new options for space battle scenarios.